Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome to the Fill in the Blank podcast.
Life after film school.
I'm Greg.
I'm Austin.
This is Fill in the Blank podcast. First time we're going to have a guest
Yes.
on the podcast, and it is a current school attender.
Yes. That
I
sounded
guess
weird.
Student would be the word I was looking for.
Yes, I was about to say. The word you're looking for is student.
Is school attender.
School attender.
Anyways, yeah, it's a guy that you met on your show
Bye,
that you
Birdie.
just finished, and he's goes to college, is theater. So we're going to get that.
At Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah, so we're going to get that perspective and see how that relates to not only just that, because we talk about that kind of stuff, and film school and what do they have going on over there, because you and I are always talking about
how well do they work together, all sorts of stuff like that.
So,
and we're going to see how well Greg fares in a conversation with two actors.
It's going to be a bunch of actors talking and then me.
Yeah.
And that's usually interesting.
It usually gets weird.
That's nothing to do with me. That's just two actors together. It gets weird.
Yeah, it gets weird. Well, plus, I have to say, like we had talked about on our last podcast, spent the last quarter year becoming close with all these people.
Yeah.
So at this point, our brains are synced up in weird ways.
Yeah.
Like, this is true of almost everybody I worked with.
Yeah.
You have your little jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't get too weird.
There's a bunch of things that people are like, I don't know what was happening.
What are they talking about? Right. We'll see. We'll see.
So that'll be it for the day, because that'll probably be significant in length, and we don't want to give you another hour and 40-minute episode. So, we're not going to have any other segments. That will be our topic of the day. We'll be our
see
guest.
Just how good
and then,
this works.
And that'll be the episode, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. If it goes well, then maybe more guests in the future.
Yeah. We'll see maybe you guys can give us some feedback.
Yeah.
On the Facebook page.
And maybe you want to be a guest.
Yeah, of course. I've opened it up to a number of people.
Yeah.
So here's a random thought that just entered my head. This is completely a separate topic.
Okay.
Sadly, this happens to me at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
So I don't know what that sasays about the state of my brain.
This story is called, This Happens to Me at Least 3 times a week.
I don't know what that says about the state of my brain.
Okay.
But you got to go to work or whatever you're doing the next day. You're like, okay, let me put out this stuff that I need. Here's my little pile on my table. Okay. Like in my case, I'm like, okay, here's my pile of things. I will put my wallet and keys on top of it,
so that there's
ensuring that I grab all of this.
There's no way I could leave it.
Then I get up, I put on my clothes, I put my wallet in my pocket, I put my keys in my pocket. I go, oh, let me go grab that out of somewhere else. I grab it, I walk out the front door, I get to my car, I pull my car out, I go, I don't have any of that stuff that I need. Walk back up. Now this is even so that a lot of times it's just that. I've got to come back up, unlock
it's frustrating.
Unlock the door. I'm just trying to get out of here.
And depending on
all
how
the stuff.
What's really bad is that depending on how much you need that stuff,
Yeah.
determines how lazy you're going to be. Because there's sometimes you're like, oh, I promised I'd return that person's DVD, and then you're in your car right outside your house, and you're like, it's too far now.
It's too far. It's true. But if you like need it for work or something, you're like, I guess I got to get it. But then, so like that's 90% of the time is you're like, you get out the door. Sometimes you make it down the stairs. Sometimes you make it to the car. Sometimes you lock the door, and then you're like, Nope.
It's
inside.
Yep.
But then for me recently, it's been, okay, let me go get it. I go back up. I don't know if I'm just super distracted. I grab like half of the items, get distracted, leave again. And then get halfway down I'm like, no, you didn't take all the things. Why wouldn't you take them?
Okay, but I want to say this. As your friend, I want to say this. I think you get that from your father.
Maybe.
And the reason I say this is because I started doing something recently that I know I got from my father.
Oh, okay.
Which is, and it actually relates to an earlier podcast. I was at the supermarket. It was actually like a convenience store.
Yes.
But I was buying my items and stuff like that, and I looked down, and I saw the Hi-Chew candies.
Oh, yeah, we were talking
about.
Yeah, you were supposed to get that for me.
I know. And I looked down.
You're like, Hi-Chew.
I saw Hi-Chew. I saw a new flavor, peach. I was like, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
Looked, and I was like, where's melon?
Yeah.
There's melon.
I'll get
Promise
that.
Greg,
Yeah.
I get a melon.
Yeah.
Snatch that sucker up. I'm pleased as punch because I remembered.
Yeah.
I got Greg his melon candy.
And this is weeks ago. Yeah.
Right. Weeks ago.
But you hadn't seen it, so yeah.
It hadn't crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, I have cash in my pocket.
Fortuitous.
Let's doing this.
Yeah.
Get it. Pay for it. Get out to the car. Happy as can be. Hand it to my wife who's sitting in the passenger seat. I'm like, got Greg his melon candy. So jazzed. She looks down and says, this is mango.
Oh.
Now, I know for a fact that I read the word melon,
Yeah.
but apparently I didn't.
Your
Was 100% sure.
Your brain just told you that this is what that was.
Yes.
Because
it's like, I've done this now too. Go to the store to buy some soda. You grab it. You know, you're getting Coke.
Yeah.
Whatever. Walk out. This is a little bit harder to do now. I'm using this as an example.
Okay.
My dad used to do this all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's harder to do now because they delineate the colors.
The cans are different colors entirely.
Right.
Yes.
But it used to be a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
He'd come home with diet soda.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, and
I
as
don't
a
want
little
that.
kid, I'd be
Yeah.
like, what, you couldn't read the fact that it said diet right on there?
And you're like, no.
I really thought I was getting normal
And now
soda.
you're like, I know.
And now
I read it.
I understand. I read it. It clearly said
It
melon.
said melon. It's in my hand. It's a mango.
I don't know why it decided to change itself between.
It's like, I think it's like.
I went back in to try to exchange it, by the way. There was not a melon in to be found. It wasn't like
it didn't exist?
No, it exists.
Oh.
I've eaten it.
No, I know. I feel like this is what happened. Just the sight of Haichu, that memory popped in, and for some reason your brain released endorphins, and your vision was just clouded, and you were like, it's the Haichu, and I've remembered. This will be the greatest coup. It's been 3 weeks. Why would anyone? He probably hasn't even remembered that he wanted the Haichu.
Yes.
And look at the new flavor of Haichu.
Yeah,
it was just a Haichu-gasm in your head, and then you were just like, haha, and then
Haichu-gasm.
and then you walked out, and then then when your brain cleared, you were like, this is all wrong.
Yeah.
This is nothing like what it was moments ago.
Yeah. No, you're right. I lived 2 different lives within a matter of seconds. But it's just as you get older, I think, sometimes these little things from your parents that used to go, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I promise you I will never be like that. 1 or 2 of them sneak in there.
Uh-huh.
So it's happened to me a few times now where I thought I was getting one thing and I totally got another.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the podcast a little bit.
Sure.
Nothing huge to report here.
No.
Stitcher, as always, good place to go if you're driving around and you want to be able to stream this thing. Find us there. Just search it on Stitcher.
Absolutely. Or you could go on iTunes and review us. But remember that there's only the latest 10
on iTunes.
On iTunes.
Or any of your RSS feeds will have 10.
Right.
But they are all available on fillintheblankfilms.com and YouTube.
That is
where
correct.
the enhanced version is, so remember that. Facebook, we're sitting at the time of recording at 37 likes. That's 3 likes away from 40. There will be a surprise at 40.
Yeah.
It could just be us going, surprise!
Well,
but
don't tell them that. You ruin the surprise.
No, it could be that.
But that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah, maybe. Could be something else.
Well, if it is that, act surprised.
Just remember, there was a contest. There was a winner. They have received their prize. I'm awaiting to hear what it is that they have purchased with their prize. Hopefully they'll post that on Facebook, but if not, maybe they'll just tell me. Anyways, so hopefully there's a lot going on Facebook, and you guys can participate and tell your friends as usual. Just please spread it out. The more people that listen, the better.
Mm-hmm. And participate.
Because these things are only spread through word of mouth. But at a certain point, I think you reach a word of mouth critical mass where then it goes. And we haven't reached a critical mass yet.
No,
so we
but
still
we're starting
need
to get guests.
We still need help.
Yeah. So we're getting more advanced.
We're working on it, guys.
Yeah.
It takes time to build these social media things.
It takes time to build
a business. You just have to be patient. So
that's a little joke for our guest.
Please do facebook.com/FITB Podcast. Now let us bring in our guest for our topic of the day.
Here it comes, topic of the day, very special topic. We got your topic today. Topic today to tell you. All right. So we're here with your topic.
We got your topic today.
Yep. For today.
It's a guest.
It is a guest. Yeah.
That's new.
Yes. Our guest today is a friend of mine that I made during the run of Bye Bye Birdie.
Right.
Which is now over, which we previously talked about.
Yes.
And his name is Ian James.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Here we go.
What is up?
What is up?
Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. This is great.
Yeah, you're actually our first guest. How do you feel about that?
I feel very honored, considering I listened to the last 2, and I'm going to be a forever listener now.
All right.
Nice.
It made me laugh hysterically, especially because one of those times was about me at the OC fair.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Ian was the guy we talked about in that OC Fair bit where I was saying someone kept going around singing the Taylor Swift song.
Yes.
Waiting for the goats to scream.
Yes.
That was him.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they did.
It's
huh?
I'm so glad that that's the first impression of me is the guy screaming at goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
or-
waiting for ghosts to scream at him.
Right.
Yeah.
But that really just proves that you belong on
But
a
if you've seen my calendar,
right.
you would realize
goats and
that
trees.
Goats and trees.
Goats and
goats
trees.
are just fine.
Okay. So,
So
what do you study? Like, what do you do? Why
I'm-
did we ask you on, Ian? Please explain yourself.
Yeah, you asked me on because I am a theater major at Cal State Long Beach.
That is right.
And you wanted me to talk about like what the difference is now between me being in theater and being at school as opposed to
Well,
how you
that's
guys
right.
did it.
Yeah.
Because you're going now, and we went a long time ago.
Mhm.
When
Exactly.
pterodactyls roamed the earth.
I was
Well,
going to go
it
with the
wasn't-
dinosaur joke too. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It
Well,
wasn't
I-
that
you were-
long ago, but I think
No.
that there's probably some
There's
differences.
probably some
that
differences,
we
and that's-
keep, and plus we keep being like, I don't know how it was then, but
Right.
when we were there, it was like this. So at least now we can maybe get a perspective, and then we'll also get the talent perspective,
Right, which
since
I
we
did-
talk about the technical.
Whoa,
Right,
thank you for that. But whoa, talent.
Which I do talk about sometimes, but I think it's good to have the focus on that.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, why did you decide to be a theater major when you could have done something important?
I feel like theater is important. It just involves so much, like with emotion, and I think that's the one thing. Like, when something can bring you to the point of tears, it's pretty important. Like
Yeah.
whether that means like moments in your life or just a show that you've seen. Like, first thing I want to talk about was Sunny in the Park with George. Is like the first thing I really saw that really cemented my reasoning for wanting to be a theater major.
Why?
Mandy Patinkin.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true.
I've
Mandy
written down
Patinkin
here,
is pretty
like, yes,
awesome.
exactly.
I don't think
When
I have not seen this.
Oh, it's a very good show. It's a Stephen Sondheim
Yes.
show. Yes.
Okay.
And when he's
Very good
seeing
show.
Bit by bit, and he's doing his painting, it's beautiful, and
Yeah.
you can see the emotion in him, especially if you see the play on DVD.
Yes, I've seen this.
Oh my gosh,
It is impressive.
It's so beautiful.
And it kind of takes you behind the artistic perspective. So,
Exactly.
for those of you out there, go watch this because then you won't need to listen to Ian talk, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's true. you'll feel it as soon as you see it.
Yeah.
If you feel the same way I do about theater, and
No, that is a good one. And Mandy Patinkin's pretty.
oh my, yes, what a
Amazing.
singer, what an actor.
Yeah.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Thank you.
If it's anyone besides me watch Homeland,
I've not seen Homeland.
I have not seen it. Is he?
Yeah, he's like the star of that with Claire Danes.
Really?
Oh,
And
really?
he's got this huge beard. He's the best. He's awesome.
Nice.
And he's just super serious all the time.
Ooh, that's gotta be weird.
That's great. No, he's so good on that.
Like,
Okay.
Because you were like, last time I saw you, you were on like a Valtrex commercial. What was that?
Yeah, no,
he was doing that commercial.
He was on something.
I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely a prescription drug.
Yeah, there was a dry spell there for a
Yeah.
little bit. But I think,
After Sunday in the Park with George, just went downhill.
yeah.
But another thing that he did was Princess Bride, and that was one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
We've discussed that movie a few
Yeah.
times on this.
How can you
podcast.
not?
Right.
I mean, it's hilarious, and it's to the point where you really, it's absurd, but I don't know how to explain.
No, I know what you're saying. It's absurd, but it's also kind of touching. It encapsulates everything.
Yes.
So,
Listen to these actors talk.
I know.
I'm just talking to the
Jabber, jabber,
audience.
jabber,
This is
jabber,
between me and the
rabble, rabble.
audience.
I'm sorry. I
just
didn't.
watching.
I didn't mean.
Just watching the actor speak.
All right. So, what other things influenced you into becoming an actor?
Well, my uncle.
All right. We're doing this just to kind of establish your credibility. We did this for like
Yes.
4 episodes.
It's true. And-
Just establishing why you should
Good.
be listening to me talk about this.
yeah.
My uncle Brian James, who starred in over 100 feature films. The probably the most famous was Blade Runner with Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And he was Leon, the number 1 replicant. Very first shot of him is the very first shot of the movie is him.
That's true.
Let me tell you about my mother.
So now
Yeah.
That was the guy-
I'm
that was
gonna
the
have
guy
to
the
go
wall.
watch Blade Runner again. Now it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if for younger listeners who haven't seen Blade Runner, The Fifth Element, which plays all the time on TV right now, he was the general that gets shoved in the freezer.
Oh,
and,
okay.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gets punched through the glass.
Yeah.
By a very hot redhead.
Although if you're listening to this as a former film school or current film school student, you haven't seen Blade Runner, then shame on you.
Go
Yeah.
see it. Just we're willing. This is the one time you can pause the podcast and go watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty overshadowed because of Star Wars that came out later.
years before,
but history's been kind.
History has
like
been kind
since
of like
then,
that.
like that's
It's-
required viewing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a film school required viewing.
See,
Yes.
that's the difference between being in film and being right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Well, yeah, you
I mean,
won't.
I would love to be able to take some film classes if I had the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another hard thing about being a theater major
Yeah.
is that all the money that you're putting into the school, you don't know whether you're going to get it back.
And
That's-
you do have to put money into school.
Yeah.
For both. That's something that I don't. Do you think that's true of all disciplines, or do you think it's mostly the arts? Because it seems
well,
like,
I mean, beyond paying for your
I'm not talking about paying for tuition. I'm
There's-
talking about
yeah. If you take an English class your whole time, there's no class fees.
right, and but you also don't have to pay
And
to
that's-
make a film like we
Sure,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Also-
pay for your showcase like you're gonna have to.
Exactly, but also like paying for stuff out of pocket that you like this equipment that we're using right now.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to use equipment for other things, like if you want to put on a show, you have to pay for this. You have to rent
You
the
gotta,
space.
yeah. If you
have
want to promote yourself, you have to pay out of pocket.
If you're a physics physics guy,
Yeah.
then you're what? You're gonna have
They have lab fees, and
you
that's
have
it.
you have lab fees for those equipments. If
Yeah,
you're gonna do
but-
that at your house,
yeah,
but
but those
then
guys-
you look like a bomb maker. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those guys
Yeah,
are
you
weenies
can't do that at
anyway.
You can't really do that at home.
You can't do that at home.
Those guys are weenies anyway.
I mean, that's I guess from the perspective of, I mean, you're saving a lot by doing it through school because
That's
you're getting
true.
access to all that facility.
Yes.
And in film school, all the equipment and the facilities.
You are
and
saving
in
a lot,
theater
but-
school. You get the opportunity to be in productions where you maybe you have seniority, so you get first pick at it and things like that.
But it still costs.
But that's what's great about showcases because they keep the costs so low. You only have to put a $50 deposit. I'll explain.
So explain what a
Yeah.
showcase, because I'm
Well,
sitting here going, I don't know what this is exactly.
Hold up, before we get to showcase, because I do want to hear all
Yeah.
about showcase. I just want to, because you had brought up your uncle, and I'm assuming it. Like, what influence did he have on you? Like,
Just watching him act, he would come over to my house as a little when I was a little kid, and he would talk to me and do all these different voices, and he would
you were
play
close.
his character. Yeah, well, we were he died in 2000, and I would go to his house all the time in Malibu, which was an amazing house. When this is like, okay, this is what actors do. They live in a house on the beach as a kid. That's what I thought.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
he
the
definitely
bubble
paid
that we
his
burst
dues.
on this show.
yes.
He went to Stella Adler, New York,
Right.
when it like first opened, and he got instruction from Stella Adler and came back. He was a busser the whole time and a server the whole time that he was going to school there. Paid for his schooling, then came back to California and started his acting career and got great friends like Nick Nolte. He was really inspiring with how he went. He came from nothing. He came from a house with four children that had nearly no money, and then he just went off on his own. And
So he was truly a working actor.
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
I have a whole segment on
He
the
could
show.
be featured.
Yes.
Yes.
He could be featured.
Maybe I'll do a feature just on
A tribute feature.
A tribute feature
I would love that.
on your uncle, because actually that's a good thing to talk about, the working hard elsewhere to give yourself those opportunities. But is there anything else that you really wanted to bring up? Like, what? I guess what I'm trying to get at here, and these are great, stories you're telling us, but why theater? What is it about theater?
Like between film or theater or anything
No,
else?
no,
or
between
just,
anything else.
Storytelling, I guess. I'll
Yeah.
frame
Yes.
it like that. Why is storytelling your chosen career path?
I think it's just because I like to make people happy or take them away from where they are in the moment. I feel like I'm always one of those people that needs to help out, like regardless of the situation. I know if somebody's having a problem with something, I like to be funny or stupid or wacky, just be a character around them, and then that makes them feel better. Just it takes them away from their issues, their problems at the time, at least for that moment. And that's something that's really special because I think the best thing you could possibly do to a person is make them laugh.
Yeah.
Like
I would agree with you.
Yeah, laughter
Yeah.
is the best medicine. Besides actual medicine.
Okay, so you've decided to be psychiatry withstanding an
Yeah.
emotional doctor, is what you're saying.
Basically.
Wow.
I agree with that.
Wow.
I agree with that because there's
That was pretty the most pompous thing I've ever heard.
Welcome back to the podcast, folks. I know you've been missing me, but I'm back.
no, but the ability to take somebody to it on a journey that you couldn't in any other form, really, because like it's
Except for
theaters,
a book. Or...
theaters.
Except for book.
I'm just teasing.
Poem,
Go ahead.
or art. Or
It's like that, but I mean,
It's different.
It's happening.
It is,
it's unfolding in front of you live. And
Yeah.
it's different every single time you see it.
It's almost
considering-
participatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now,
It is participatory.
do you prefer stage or screen acting, or
tell
do you
you,
not
that's-
know yet, or are you up in
That's
the
true.
air?
I'm up in the air right now.
After
really,
being in a show with you, would you like me to tell you which one you should prefer?
I know what you. I know what you're gonna say.
The answer is both.
No, that's not what you were gonna. No,
That's not what you were gonna say.
No,
It's not.
no.
No, he's lying.
I was trying to be nice, but you blew my cool on the air. So yeah, no, it's film. It's film. You have very expressive face, is what I'm saying, which our podcast people should be able to appreciate right now.
Yeah, they can tell.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I get from my uncle and my dad's side of the family is they have very expressive faces. And, it just they're wacky looking. Like my face, my face is weird looking.
I'll agree with that.
It's weird. It's like I can.
You
like,
said it.
I can agree with it because I've seen pictures of myself. All the pictures of the show that we just did are.
Right.
I don't look like a normal person.
Oh, you've
in any of
joined
them.
Austin's club of just hating watching himself act.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
So that's the bad side to
Yeah.
doing
Yes.
screen acting is you have to suffer through your own performance.
You have to suffer through your face.
There's some people who like watching themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's half and half. If I think that I was really funny, then yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Then
think
you
it was-
enjoy it.
And I enjoy it because I don't worry about how I looked or whatever. Because that joke was funny
Right.
or something. I think that's what I most care about. I think that's what I would probably want to do is comedy.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, yep.
Okay.
All
right.
What, so now I want to
There is
know.
nothing like a live laugh.
No.
I know what I just said about film and stuff like that, but there is nothing
Like
like...
a gut busting. Like,
Yeah.
they can't.
Well,
stop.
because on
They're
film
not
the
breathing
laughs
because-
and on film the laughs are basically made in editing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can shoot it and you can while you're taping it be like, oh, that's funny, but you know you're gonna throw a couple cuts in there to make
Yeah.
it funnier or make the timing perfect. What? So wait, what is this showcase thing now? Back to that because
Okay,
I don't know what that means.
Showcase is actually a class that all theater students have to take for
Okay.
at least 4 semesters, so 2 years. And it's a class that you just go and you watch a 45-minute theater production directed, produced, and sometimes written by students.
Okay.
And it's every Thursday night and Friday morning. Thursday night at 10:30, and then Friday morning at noon.
We don't care what time.
Well, I'm saying it's 2 times a week, and you
Okay.
can go to either one, which is great.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It's not a.
So is it kind of like your thesis class as a theater student?
No.
No?
You're not acting. You're watching, or are you
you're
rotating?
watching. If you're in the class, you're watching.
Okay.
So it
who's
makes-
acting in them?
Who
are these
anybody,
people?
That's the thing. Anybody can go in and act. Anybody, you can bring people from out if you just
Okay,
put up
so you
auditions.
can just put on a show as anyone who's attending the school with anyone you want.
But you do have to propose to.
It has
the
to be
faculty.
approved.
Yes, and it has to be approved
Okay.
and be within budget. And I know that mine, when I end up doing mine,
Yeah.
is not going to be within budget. So I'm going to
Sure.
be taking a lot out
I
of
like
pocket.
that though. It's basically just like, hey, come sit in this class and judge. That sounds like right up my alley.
It's basically like if you don't have anything under your belt, like experience-wise, like going to watch things, then this is something just fun for you to do that'll
That's
expose
true.
you to it.
That's true. You always hear a lot of people, at least I did when I was in theater, I never went to the theater as a kid. I never got to go see it. And you do at least get to see stuff. It may not be the Pantages, but
but
you're
there's
getting
some that are-
exposed to
There's
a
some
lot
that
of
are really
different
good.
things. Yeah.
And it just depends on like who you get. Like we had one last semester that was called The Raven. Lizzie Ferdinandi was the director, and she actually was able to turn it into a main stage this upcoming semester.
Oh,
okay.
They
So
chose it as
there is ability to take this beyond the showcase.
Yes,
That's cool.
Now, is it required that as a theater major that you do a showcase before you graduate?
You have to have a certain amount of units performance-wise if you're a performance major.
Okay.
Tech-wise, and you have to have teched a few shows.
See, I didn't even know that you could major in the backstage of theater.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
That's where most people go because most people aren't as talented as us.
Oh man, it's
Okay,
just off
that
the,
was definitely
it's just
the most
off the
awful thing
charts.
he's ever said.
It's off the charts today.
That was like
It is off the charts. See, this is what happens when the theater
who has
people
tomatoes?
talk.
Who has
This
tomatoes? I'm
is
gonna throw
it.
some tomatoes. Who has tomatoes?
All of a sudden,
Ooh.
No, fair enough. But there is definitely a major for the tech side of things.
Yeah.
Just because, and I don't mean it to sound pompous, but it is more difficult to get the performance credits than it is to get the tech credits. We always
sure.
always need tech people.
Sure.
Yeah, tech. Well, I think that tech is more difficult.
I think it's more difficult to do.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. I'm just saying there's usually more opportunity to do
But-
it.
There is definitely for sure.
See, you think that's more difficult to do because you like to act and that's natural for you. I'm sitting here going, I think tech's super easy.
yeah,
What,
maybe.
I mean, what are we talking about? The sound, the lights, and the sets?
Yes.
Yes.
Eh.
Now where's it coming from?
Well, it's also designing, like set design and
Yeah.
lighting design. It's all that, but it's also stage management, which
Yeah,
is
that's true.
which
Okay,
is
stage
really
management
tough.
would be a
And,
thing.
and they do teach production as well.
Yes,
Like
they
the
do.
actual-
Yeah.
That stage management would be a thing that I would wouldn't have the first idea how to do.
Yeah.
It's
But,
very difficult.
It is. You really have to be super organized, which is not something I know.
did you-
Which is why I'm glad they make you take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what, you have to take stage management, and
It's
it
like
definitely
stagecraft.
made
They make you take
yes.
that
Did
too.
you, at your film school, did they have a set design building class in the film school?
No.
Stagecraft.
There was
No,
nothing
we're talking
in
film
film.
school.
There was
okay.
nothing like that.
I-
Like everybody just did it though. Everybody just did it and figured out how to do it.
Yes. No.
Which-
Well, because if you think about it, there was
Do
a
it yourself.
production
Yeah.
class where they taught you how to build flats,
And they're like, all
And
right,
they
you guys
taught you
go
how
have
to-
fun.
Not at
build-
my school.
build shit.
build A-frames and stuff. No, I had to take. I'm trying to. Remember.
Oh, there was how to not cut your hand off class.
Yeah.
Like using the saws in the.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. That was like a half an hour. They didn't. I mean,
Like
if
that
you
gym
can't make
teacher that you
it.
had in high school that didn't take that
Right.
class.
If you can't make a right triangle with wood, then you fail at life. You shouldn't be in college.
Yeah, but it's something that they had to teach. And I'm trying to.
No,
remember.
we didn't have that. You were just turned
No,
loose.
it was in my set design class.
Oh, you
I
had
actually
a set
did it.
design class.
Yes, because now that I'm thinking about it, my teacher was Denny DeGale. She
I
was
remember-
currently the set designer for the show Felicity.
I think I remember you making like a miniature set or something.
I did.
Yeah.
From Interview with the Vampire. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't have anything like that. But
Yes, I did have that class, but I
still
never.
made some pretty
I
cool
never
sets.
took
That's all I'm saying.
stagecraft. Never took stage for theater.
Yeah.
Just like I never took stage management. Because I cheated, but that's
yeah.
I Captain Kirk though.
But it's interesting that you have a million student films with a million sets and no one's taking a class
that's
on it.
right. I
And-
know. No, it's not really emphasized at all.
But the sad part is they don't suck.
They don't.
Like the sets are good, and someone else took a whole class on it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Someone else took a whole class. A bunch of people didn't and did really good sets.
Yes.
But to
That's
be
also
fair,
something that sets have to be in film. They have to be.
they have to be
nearly
enclosed
flawless.
almost,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. So showcase, you can direct them, but you have to have taken the directing class
Okay.
at some point, or have to be
So many rules.
concurrently taking directing class to propose a showcase.
Understood.
This is what happens when
See,
you
it
have.
was not this
No, no,
complex
no.
when I went to.
And this is what happens when you have theater programs have been around for all time.
Yeah.
So they have these weird, hard, and fast rules.
Right. Although I will say that Loyola had a
Yeah.
fairly old. It was a theater program from like 1913 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was much more like when you took upper levels of directing
Yeah.
and other of these classes, then you got to do these
Yeah.
showcases and stuff like that. You had to have your performance credits, but a lot of these classes were only BFA classes only, so you had to have already proven that you were a Bachelor of Fine Arts in order to even take those classes.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Which,
They made it douchey.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily, but
I didn't think it was so
There's
douchey,
so
but
much
that's
to be
because I was
said.
taking this class.
So much to be said about BFA, the difference in how, like, it's different between,
It
say,
does depend on the
Fullerton
school,
and
though.
Long Beach. And, like, Long Beach, we don't have a BFA program.
Mm-hmm.
We only have the performance track, which is different. You can get a general theater degree, but you can be in performance.
okay,
Emphasis in performance.
See,
So
we
wait,
didn't
what
do-
is the degree then? Wait, it's not
It's-
a Bachelor of Fine Arts? What is it?
It's just it's a bachelor's, but you have
Bachelor's
an
of Arts?
yeah, it's a Bachelor of the Arts with emphasis in
I
performance.
feel like mine actually is a BFA.
Is
Yours
it?
might.
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure yours is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of schools do. They have the BFA program, which is different.
Yeah.
That you can get in it sometimes fairly easily, unless you go to Fullerton, then it's all fucked up. But
It's hard to go there anyways
Um,
nowadays.
but you had emphases.
I was emphasis in writing, directing.
We
but,
didn't see. We didn't have any emphasis at all at my school.
Well, what's weird is when I started, they had emphases, and then by the time I was a junior, they dumped it, and so they just had film production. That was what you got. And so there was this weird 2 years where people had a degree that was like Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film Production, writing, like it was all the above. Like, so mine it's Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film Production, but then if you keep reading, it says writing and directing, which is really weird because there was this weird molding time. Now everybody just says film production.
I see.
Whether you want to direct or do cinematography or whatever.
Interesting.
So now it's less. It's like just take
But they
whatever classes you have to take the prereq and the required courses, but otherwise you just take whatever you want and make your own emphasis within it versus prescribed courses for emphases.
I got you.
Emphasis.
Emphasize.
Emphysema.
And you're at Long Beach, right?
Yes.
So they have a pretty good film program.
Yeah, they do.
So now,
definitely better than their theater program.
What kind of is there a crossover?
More people go to Long Beach for film than they do theater.
Well,
Absolutely.
you got the whole Spielberg thing now.
Is there?
He doesn't he hate Long Beach?
Yeah, not really likes it.
He went to USC.
Do they cross over? Or is there interbreeding? Are there
are
there theater people working in student films?
Film babies.
If you could tell us,
well, because Austin and I have talked about how we didn't talk to the theater people at Chapman at all.
Right, and I don't know that my experience was a fair one because I was personally going between
both.
the two programs.
Well, yeah, they do mix a lot. But when they breed, there's like third arms and cauliflower growing out.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of the film actors like to come over and they do theater, but it's kind of the opposite. You can't really.
Oh, is there a film acting kind of route? No, just the people. Oh, there is.
Performance in film.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just acting. I thought it was just theater. So there's a film performance route.
Mm-hmm. And then there's directing, and I think there's also
really narrowed it down over there.
Yeah, producing.
Wow. Okay, that I did not see because
acting's
when
acting.
I was in school, they were always just like
you have to do certain things, but like most of the people that go there do to act, but you can also direct and stuff like that.
Wow. See, when I went to school, it was always just like, because there was no actors in the film, you could not get an acting degree in the film department.
No, it was just theater.
It was just film. And if you wanted to be an actor, you went over to theater, and the film teachers were always like, you've got a whole theater program over there.
Yeah.
Don't put your stupid friends in the project. Walk across the quad and ask an actor to be in your
See, that's
project.
the problem, though. You tell that to film students, and they're like, okay, I will put my friends in it. Well, then I'm not going to put anyone our age in it.
Right.
And I'm going to cast appropriately, which is what they should do.
Yeah.
But then you end up not using the theater people because you're like, well, my script calls for a bunch of 40-year-olds, so I'm going to go on Backstage West.
Well, that's the great thing is that even our teachers, they're all working actors.
Yeah.
And they're all willing to do.
Oh, they go in the films? That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was a stark delineation between.
They're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know Craig Anton? He's one of our teachers at Long Beach for a theater teacher. He does improv and comedy and a few other classes, and he's been on a bunch of like commercials and stuff. He's done a lot of film. Like that's where I first saw him was in film. He was the father in Phil of the Future for. I noticed that you guys get a lot of these.
Yeah,
you guys get a lot of.
It's the fire station like 2 blocks that way. That's why.
Okay. I was like, man, there's just a lot of fires.
I just
around.
live in the most dangerous area ever.
Coming live to you from Compton.
Wow, I was gonna go somewhere like Idlewild where there's like it's a tinderbox, like. Sorry to the people in Idlewild right now, with all the fires that are actually going on right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I used to live, so out there in that area, so I know fires are bad out there, but totally off topic.
So either way, are you going to do a showcase? Is what we want to know.
Yes, I am going to be proposing a showcase, not this semester because I will be taking directing concurrently this semester, and I want my show to be awesome, badass.
Oh, okay, so you want it to be good.
Yeah. Okay. But I want it to be.
That's different.
Like because when people go into their showcase and they only use their budget and they keep everything really minimal.
What is the budget, or is it?
It's a $50 deposit.
Okay.
And if you mess up anything, you get $50. That's basically your money to spend on whatever you want. So you
$50.
You get $50. You have a $50 deposit that you put down.
Okay.
And you don't get any. They don't give you any money. I think only if it's for a set. Like they'll give you some of the set materials. And then if you do anything to the theater, to the room that they don't approve of,
you have to pay.
They will just take
your $50.
Your $50 will be gone.
Well, it's only $50. But you
for college student, that is like wow.
True. Okay, but
that is like 5.5.
When you were talking about but when you were like, oh, the budget, I'm gonna go over it. I'm like, oh, he's gonna spend like $1,500 on this thing.
Right. See, in
I'm
film,
definitely gonna be putting a lot of my own money in.
But what is
so? See, in film school, a lot of kids will be like, oh, I really had a low budget with this one, and I could only spend like $4,000.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you're like. Well, I mean, film is you have to make everything look better. Everything.
Yeah,
has to be better.
I mean, there's not the cheap movies. Senior theses are $2,600.
Yeah,
that's the cheap end.
Yeah, and really cheap.
Yeah,
I did that. I did Campus Movie Fest. I did Campus Movie Fest two semesters ago, and I actually got in the top 16.
No, you made a movie for the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was in it and I directed it and everything. It was the worst thing ever. It was awful. It was horrible. It was not good.
And it was top 16.
And it was top 16. But there was a lot of really good films.
That doesn't necessarily surprise me. I want you to
No,
know.
it's true. Yeah.
The one that did win, I was very surprised with. It was worse than mine.
Political.
And
Yep.
you
It's always
definitely-
political.
Yes,
It's always political.
definitely. I knew that because it was a.
Yeah.
Never mind. Long story.
Somebody who works in the office or something like that.
No, but that was really hard because I was just really lucky that they gave me all the equipment that I needed. And you have a week to make that film, and edit it all together and turn it in. And if you do anything before that, you're disqualified. If you do, if you
It's
prepare anything
like
before
doing
it.
like a 48-hour film festival type
Yes.
thing.
And they gave us this little HD, camera with
Handycam.
a shotgun mic, and they let you use a MacBook.
That was the smallest shotgun mic.
It was.
It's literally it's the size of this pen.
Oh,
okay.
It is the smallest shotgun.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a cover over it and everything, so like you get everything.
So
You
the
get
wind noise
all-
is just like
yes, exactly. You hear everything. It was so bad. I can't get over how bad it was. But I thought it was a good idea. But I would really like to do it again. I have a few ideas for other film stuff, which I really love to do.
Yeah.
Of course, I always want to be in them too, which sucks because I want to be behind the camera. I want to be telling them where to shoot
No,
it,
I know.
and I want to
You're
be in it. You want to do everything.
Junior Laurence Olivier like I am.
It's-
Okay.
But you can't.
I'm not
you can't-
comparing myself to Laurence
God
Olivier.
damn.
I'm just saying that he's
There's
one of those
three.
actors.
That's strike
That's
three.
strike 3.
Okay,
sir.
I'm out.
See ya.
That's not what I meant, but I'm out.
Wow.
He's walking down the stairs right now.
Oh my god.
It's not what I meant, and you know it.
Do I?
I understand why it would be confusing at this point after my previous comments. That's not what I meant.
Oh my gosh.
I am so pompous.
Okay. So I keep derailing this
It's okay.
whole conversation. But yes, I'm directing a showcase, and it's going to be a musical showcase, which they don't do very often.
Now, are you willing to tell us what your showcase is going to be, or are you worried that someone's going to steal it?
Oh no, they couldn't. Even if they wanted to.
They couldn't do it as good as you.
No, even if they wanted to, I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna get a better proposal than they would anyway. So.
See, it's not just
Yes.
me.
It's not. I'm not full of myself. It's that I'm willing to work hard enough to make sure that it's that way.
Okay.
Because if I do something, I can't do it half-ass unless it's that 1 week video. Then none of the people that I wanted to be in the show could do it, and so the last minute is like the day of shoot, and I'm like, okay, so none of the people can do it. So I got like, who you want to come and be in this? Because I mean,
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
yeah, I have to turn
know
something
all
in.
about that.
So, but I'm not gonna have it be like that. I am setting this
It's
up
gonna
at
be
least,
good.
this is gonna be a year ahead of time.
Okay.
So it's gonna be Evil Dead the musical,
Okay.
and I know that sounds really weird, but if you've ever
That
seen,
kind of sounds fantastic.
Wait,
actually.
don't you have to get the rights to that?
the thing is, if it's a showcase for school, you don't have to do it because it's not gonna be
Oh.
it's not gonna be a full show.
And
But-
you're not making money off of it.
But on
Not making any money off.
right,
No.
but then I don't want to just be like, your idea is bad, because no, it's a good idea, except that then if you wanted it to take off, you're all of a sudden cut off at the knees.
But
that's
you
the
didn't
thing-
write it.
Huh?
You didn't
What?
write it.
No, I didn't. It's
So how could it take off?
it's like I can.
Hold on.
He's thinking about like this.
Wait, does Evil Dead the musical already exist?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you made it up, and I'm like, well,
That's
it's
what I was gonna
licensed.
say.
Never
Yeah, yeah.
mind. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
Evil
I'm
Dead
sorry.
the musical is a
It's
Broadway.
already a thing
it's
that
a
is
Broadway
existing
musical.
on Broadway.
Yes,
You're just doing part
it's not,
of it.
It's not very popular to the point where people just don't know about it.
Yeah.
But it has a great soundtrack. Like everything
Yeah.
about it is really
I
hilarious.
can't
Okay, I'm
confirm
back
that,
on track.
yes.
I thought it was.
I think there's a song
thought
in
you
it
had made
that I
this
have
up.
to say. It's like there's a song called "What the F Was That" that I'm just
Uh-huh.
gonna be so down to listen to and watch these people sing. The problem is gonna be finding singers. You have to have some really strong singers for the show.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you like Sam Raimi?
Sam, wait.
He's the
He
director
directed
of
the movie Evil Dead.
original
Yes.
Evil Dead.
Yeah, I liked the movies. I'm not familiar with Sam Raimi's.
Oh,
other
that's
works.
a perfectly valid answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just hoping you didn't say yes.
Yeah,
I don't.
I am also a fan of the Evil Dead movies and Army of Darkness. Am I understanding?
They're funnier than anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, of
If
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
My understanding is that this musical actually encapsulates all three of those movies.
Yes.
Okay. If the first one had been intentionally funny, then I would respect the director. But he thought it was good.
Yeah, that's true. And
Then he was like, at least he was smart enough to be like, oh, this is what I should have been doing all along, and then go for that in the other movies.
That is true.
And then he was like, I want to put close-ups of Kirsten Dunst all over the Spider-Man movies and scare people. That's what happened after that.
Okay.
Now, I want to ask this now that there's 2 theater people and 1 non-theater person. Why are you guys so weird?
See, I don't think that.
I don't either.
I think this is
We see you standing outside and talking and doing weird stuff.
Talking about?
And we're like, what are they doing? What are those people doing over there? That's what we see. See?
I don't know where he came from. Get out of here, Smeagol.
See? That's what we're just like, why are they doing this?
Why are you a schizophrenic person?
Is
what you're asking.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, it's about 50% need for attention and 50% love of entertaining people.
Well, and you'll be the first to agree with me that theater girls are just insane. They're crazy. They're crazy people.
Understatement.
They're crazy people.
No.
What is? I don't understand. I don't know what happened to them.
Early childhood trauma.
I think I have this pretty much pegged, considering that.
Take it away then.
Okay.
When you go to high school and you get into a theater program, it's like a family, and everybody decides to like build off of each other.
Yeah.
But since you only have that little family, you don't really branch out to anything else. Like me, I was really well-rounded in high school. I did every sport that I get my hands on. I did tennis and football and baseball and basketball, and tried to get as much community as I can with every group.
So you think it's a matter of socialization?
Yes, and I think that's it, really, because you don't get out of this group once you're in it. You feel like that's another good thing about theater is that if you're an outcast or you feel like you're a loner or something like that,
which everybody in theater does.
Yes, and if you're in theater, it gives you so much to work with. It'll bring you out of your
Well, generally speaking, there is a part of you that doesn't. I don't want to say doesn't like to be yourself, but
you're
at the
afraid
very
of what
least,
people will think of you.
You're
that
more
group,
comfortable being someone else.
Yes.
But now, see, that's not the picture that is projected. Like the picture you just painted is of like someone who
a neurotic weirdo,
is an introvert weirdo nerd guy.
Yes.
Those are the film school majors.
But
they are also the theater majors.
But they don't accept that you guys like to see yourselves places and stuff and be loud and
that has nothing to do with being an introvert or an extrovert.
Huh?
No. It's just a matter of what vehicle you use. Do I lie to you all the time and make you think that I'm someone else, or do I put a camera between you and me and separate myself that way? It's all different ways of separation.
6 degrees of them.
Oh. Wah, 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 wah,
But you understand what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah, but I also think that it's the fact that once if you're afraid to be out of the normal, and then you get into this thing where you can be yourself or be crazy, be wild, like in this small group, and then when
it's
you're
a safety thing.
Yeah, and then when you're out in public and you have that group with you, you're not afraid wherever you go with that.
Sure.
And that's why
that's what most people just.
So used to it,
so most people do that with their
else,
friends.
Yes.
They don't.
And you're just
except
saying,
for that now you've taken and added on a whole thing where we spend all of our time.
Yeah. That's really the
coming
problem
up with
here.
weird things.
This is really the problem that we've discovered. Is it's basically like you guys are locked in a spaceship together.
Yes.
But you've self-imposed this spaceship around yourselves. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Basically.
I think that's pretty fair.
I think we've discovered
hail
this.
All other spaceships and just like do wacky faces.
You can't get out of it, but you could.
You could, but you're much more comfortable inside your spaceship, observing all the other spaceships.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's a big part of it too. I will say, I think good actors, and I am going out on a limb here, good actors have much more empathy and compassion for other people in the world than, I'm not going to say other people, but other actors.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of times even more than for themselves.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm just like,
yeah,
okay.
There's a lot of people. I know that there's a lot of people at my school that are only interested in like what they do.
Yeah.
Like what I've done. Like you talk about something that you're doing, whether in your life. Like, I don't mean to bash anybody. Okay.
Don't say their name.
No. I'm not just.
Please bash away. Just no names.
Not saying any names besides Disney. I don't mean to bash Disney. People that work there in any means because they are
I know
always
what's coming
great
and he's
people,
right.
But there's a kind of a complex that comes with working at Disney for most people. I have really good friends that work there that don't, because they're well rounded and they're good people. And
The good people.
for the people that aren't, everything is Disney.
Yes.
And they can't tell enough people about it.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
I feel is just
That's very similar to the theater.
I don't blame them.
Yes.
I don't blame them. I blame Disney.
Disney does do a good job
brainwashing.
of inculcating, of brainwashing you into
yeah.
acting like that.
But
But you're right. It's also like a theater complex. The same thing.
It is.
If you've been in a show that you think is really good because of how you did or because of what you did, then you're going to be telling everybody about it.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just going to play it over and over. I know
sure,
I did it.
you get excited about whatever it is that's just what people do.
Yeah.
Except that it happens. Yeah, it happens to be something that people look at as a role where you're, hey, look at me. So
Right.
they think you're douchier when you talk about it, even though everyone else just comes home and talks about what they did at work if they were excited about it too.
Correct.
Except sometimes it was, laying pipe or something.
Yeah.
Except not everybody comes home and is like, "Oh my God, I had the most amazing day. You should pay
That's
$25 to come see me do it."
That's a double entendre if I ever heard
Didn't mean it to be, but I realized as soon as it came out of my mouth that it was. Now, what I was gonna say though is that I didn't understand what you were talking about with good actors and bad actors. But good actors have more compassion. I was like,
Because
I don't know
you
what you're talking
spend
about
so much-
because as soon as I find a bad actor, I'm like, go away. I don't have time for you.
No. What I'm
So
saying,
I don't really have to deal with them or know them.
That's true. I'm just saying that the reason that they are good actors is because they are constantly observing and looking at the world through other people's perspectives.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
So they may be weird, but they probably also have, on some level, an understanding of their fellow human beings.
Yes.
I'm just trying to balance out the whole "why are you so weird" question.
Yeah.
That was a good. No, good.
All right. So let's do some rapid fire with Ian here.
Oh man, don't shoot me.
Just like let's just establish some base of
knowledge about him?
opinions. No, just like favorite movie.
Ladies, I'm 6 foot.
What's your favorite movie?
What's your favorite movie?
Gladiator.
All right,
choice.
Good choice.
Yeah, Russell Crowe and just the whole score and everything was amazing.
Okay, we know your favorite actor is Mandy Patinkin.
Not
Or is it?
Not necessarily true. Mandy Patinkin is great. I don't think I have a favorite actor. I'm sorry, Brian, but my uncle. But
You have to pick.
I have to pick.
Pick one right now. Just pick who you pops in your head. Who do you like? Don't choose the wrong one.
I can't. I couldn't choose just one actor.
Top 3, go.
Well, Russell Crowe.
Okay.
That's it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
He picked his favorite. He picked it. He did it. He just did it. He
I
just
can't
did
pick a
it.
favorite.
There we go.
Pick 3. Russell Crowe. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What about actress?
it's I've seen so many movies. It's really hard to.
It is. I
to
understand.
Just recall
but
it in this short amount
I
of time.
know it's hard, but
It's hard.
you have no
but
choice.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Why don't you just
Like,
stick bamboo shivs under my
What's
fingernails?
your
while you're at
favorite
it?
actress?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Favorite actress. Jeez, that's another toughie.
Yep.
Top 3 then.
Okay, Whoopi Goldberg. No,
That's
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
I'm joking. That's no,
Whoopi Goldberg.
definitely not.
She's good. We're not saying anything bad
Definitely
about
not.
Whoopi Goldberg. Go ahead.
There's okay.
Just choose a few that you like.
Oh my gosh, I like Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Okay.
Even though snot was flying everywhere during Les Mis, but it's okay. It was just crazy. But I really think she does a great job. I'd probably pick her up there.
Okay.
One of my top.
What about what's your favorite play then?
Oh, there's 3 that that I really like.
Okay.
This is the least rapid fire.
It's the
I'm
slowest
sorry.
rapid fire.
But
This is-
I mean, when you like so many
This
things,
is
no,
muzzle-
I know. I do understand.
It's
I
really
This is
tough.
muzzle loading
I think
rapid fire.
Revolutionary War rapid fire.
I think that's a good measure. I think that's a good measure of knowing that this is what I want to do. Is that
No.
I like so many things.
Yes.
Even though there's so many bad things out there that I've seen, I still can't write them off as saying that I hate them or anything
Right.
because I like everything. I think since I was in Spring Awakening,
You like that shit.
I really love the music in it. It's a sad musical. It's not an upbeat kind of thing. It's in 1890s Germany, so I really like that for the music.
So you're saying it's a sad musical?
It's a very sad music. Yes. It's in 1890s Germany.
Oh, okay.
No, but Spring Awakening is
Okay.
probably
Okay.
2.
That's it.
number 2 is Next to Normal.
Okay.
Also because of the music but I really liked the cast in it for the Broadway production, the original Broadway cast.
Okay.
And I'm really into Les Mis right now.
Yes, you are.
So I'm gonna have to.
That's
out
okay.
the third.
That's right up there with my favorite as well.
Okay,
And I guarantee I'll think of some more later.
All
but
right,
I'll just
what
be like,
about-
Why didn't I say that?
Yeah, no, you will. You'll think of a ton of things you wish you'd said later on. That's the
Exactly,
way this goes.
exactly.
That's why we get to be on every week.
That's right.
Favorite vegetable?
Yeah.
Green beans,
Favorite fruit?
strawberries.
Interesting choice.
Okay, yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
He
Favorite
didn't-
song or band? Or both?
I'm gonna go with favorite genre, which is alternative, and then I'll probably choose Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
Okay,
Just rock like rock.
yeah, favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast, this one.
Yes, correct.
Correct
You
answer.
answered correct.
Blank podcast. Live After Film School. It's the only
Okay,
podcast
well,
that I
let's
listen
talk
to,
a little
so
bit
that's
about
great.
Vine.
Oh, Vine. I love Vine.
You're into Vine.
I'm so into Vine.
Why?
It's easy. It's really
It's true,
easy.
it's fun.
Do you do a bunch of these? Are these just like
I
one?
made. I just counted this morning. I made 73.
Are these
so far
just
in the
one
last 2 months.
shotters?
They're 6-second videos. Or
Yeah.
7 seconds.
But are you like editing them, or are you just like one shot?
You
I
gotta
don't,
get creative.
I don't edit them, but you can. Apparently,
Yeah,
I
I've
found out
seen
ways
them.
that you can edit them, and I
No,
don't.
but what I really like about Vine, at least the way you've been using it, is that you have to be creative because you can do multiple shots.
Yeah.
And you can get different angles and stuff, but
Yeah.
you got to plan everything precisely.
Right.
Because you only have 7 seconds, and you got to do it in one.
take, or
Well,
else you have
you
to do it all
don't.
over again.
Why?
Because you can't erase what you've already done.
You can't just upload a movie that's edited into Vine? I'm pretty
No.
sure you can, because I've seen people do
Well,
some
you
crazy
can,
effects.
you
You can, but
but
I'm
that's
just
the thing.
saying-
The way, like what he's talking about, is the way that I do it.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I don't like to go in and because people. That's not the point of Vine.
Yeah.
Vine is to do stuff
like
that's
the
funny
way he
and in the
does it.
moment and
I feel
and
like
using your technique as
He's literally it's
cinematographer.
in camera editing.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And,
And it's stop motion. It's all you can.
Yeah.
Every time you touch the screen, you film a little bit, and you have the length
Yeah.
of the time that you hold your finger on the screen is the length of the time that you film. And
it
you
makes
can-
it more spontaneous. I would say
Yes.
yours are a lot more spontaneous than a
Definitely.
lot of the other ones I've seen.
True.
And they're not. Mine aren't scripted. Mine aren't planned out. They're just like, dude, that'd be really funny. Let's do it. You know,
Right.
and it's in the moment. It's like, okay, well, when can we do it? Like, let's do it now.
Okay.
But then there's people out there that are Vine famous. I'm doing air quotes for those of you who aren't.
Okay.
Vine famous that have 1 million followers or something like that, and 100,000 likes per each Vine video that they do. Which I would love to be that person just because of
Yeah, I know how you feel.
my ideas, but not because I'm famous like everyone else
Yeah.
is Vine famous.
All right, well, throw out your Vine, and at least 36 people might look at it.
Right.
Exactly.
No,
what's
say
your
it right
Vine
now.
address?
How do they find
Where
you?
can they go see your stuff?
I think if you go on Late Night Shenanigans, which is hashtag Late Night Shenanigans, all together, it's you'll see like some of my stuff, and
Is
then
it
you can
just
go
listed
to
under Ian James?
yeah, Ian James.
Okay.
That's just my Vine name. But Late Night Shenanigans, CSULB, you'll see stuff under there. Like I just hashtag everything because I
Okay.
put mine all in different
Yeah, it's
categories.
easier to.
And I always go either in comedy or music. Right now, I don't like to take videos of cats or anything. And even though some of
It's a
those are
damn
pretty
shame.
dang good and cute.
Right, well, the reason I like it is because it can become an activity in and of itself. Like we were at Walmart
Yeah.
at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks
There's
ago. or
there's a
something.
whole lot of problems with that statement. There's a whole lot of problems there.
Oh no, there is not. Walmart is a great
Walmart-
substitute for doing anything that you don't want to spend money on.
Walmart is a place that rose up from hell.
It is, but
It's staffed by the damned.
damn
Oh,
staff.
welcome to Walmart. You got a pretty mouth.
And it smells like McDonald's like shat on a hot piece of plastic.
Every single time that I go into Walmart now, I feel like they're always stocking. Like because I think I only go within like 1
You
a.m.
only go in the
1
middle of
a.m.
the
and
night.
4 a.m.
That's when people stock.
Yeah,
I understand, but there's usually they don't stock like every single night because which Walmart gets really shopped that much where they take everything?
that one.
Apparently, the one in Westminster.
Yeah. Either way, the point is
What
we were
was
there
it?
and we ended up making 3 vines
Yes, that I thought were hilarious.
that were actually pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
And it became a spontaneous thing, and people ended up commenting on them and liking them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I don't know, I feel like the challenge of doing it like that is you flex your creative muscles. Is
Okay.
all I'm getting at here. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
saying
we
that
had
it's
people getting
better or worse.
frustrated.
Yeah.
We were getting frustrated.
We were getting frustrated ourselves just trying to film it because we had people with us who just sometimes they're just like
Oh, they
make,
couldn't
like little tiny
be
just
the
little-
camera person
yeah,
well
just,
enough.
just like little things, but it's not their fault. It's nobody's
Yeah,
fault. It's
yes,
just like,
it is. It's absolutely their
Well,
fault.
I
I
mean-
appreciate your diplomacy.
I'm
He's
just
talking about my wife.
It's her
Love
fault.
you, Carol.
She can't push the button. She can't push the button. I'm just
No,
saying.
she can. She just would like, oh, oops, I don't think I filmed that part. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, well, okay, then let's do it again.
So every time you have to start over.
And then
if
one
you're
time-
doing a multi-shot one, you've got to start from
all the way
scratch.
over.
Exactly.
But that's okay. Like I said, that's part of the creative
And that's
fun of it.
That's part of
least.
doing what we want to do. Like,
Right.
so
well,
like, if you get
that's-
mad at that,
That's a great segue. So yeah, go check out Ian's videos on Vine, hashtag Late Night Shenanigans or CSULB. Look for Ian James. Check him out. But that actually segues me to what I think is a nice place to end with
Yeah.
you, which is, can you think of a time recently?
You're like holding your hand in front
Oh.
of your mouth. We're going to cut this, obviously.
I was thinking.
And I was like, now we can't hear
I've
you.
how to phrase this so that he tells the story I want him to tell.
Oh, just tell him right now since we're in a period that we're
No.
cutting out.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to talk about the other night where Jenna sang and I played the
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so.
So that's a nice segue because what I wanted to ask you was, is there
You wanted to beat his ass.
Ask who was slap me in the. That was a slap across the face.
Yeah, it was.
Listening.
It was listen to me. Hold
Man,
on.
oh, we're getting derailed right now.
Can you think of a time, because I know at least I have had these moments in my life where something happens or I experience something with another person or any number of different things where it makes you realize, like, holy crap, I really have to do this for the rest of my life. I really won't be happy doing anything else. Could you think of a time recently that would prove to you that you're following the right track? Because I do have to say, and I'm not, I know I'm going a little Tavis Smiley on you here, but a lot of times people don't get these little moments, but either they pursue it or they ignore these little moments. I'm just looking for, do you have those moments where you just go,
yeah.
wow, this is, it, like, there's something that opens up your insides and you just
Yeah, that's like the first one was when I was talking about Sunday in the Park with George, Mandy Patinkin. Like he made me tear up with him singing that song. But the moment you're talking like recently, is, and we've already talked about this, is when you were playing the piano, and my girlfriend was singing, and she's also in musical theater, and
Very good singer, yes.
She's an amazing singer. Also was in Bye Bye Birdie as Kim. She sang
On My Own.
On My Own from Les Mis.
I do remember
and
that. That was very amazing.
like I said, I'm really into Les Mis, but I mean, she sang so beautifully and just on point. I have the video on my phone of her singing, and I actually listen to it every now and then when I just like need a little pick me up, because it's really beautiful. Even though the piano player, man,
I know he was messing it up for you.
Yeah. What's his name? Oh yeah, Austin.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I'm just kidding. You were good. But I really wasn't. No, it really nah. It made me cry. It made me tear up, and I'm not usually a very emotional guy when it comes to like talking about like my feelings, unless I've been drinking.
Or you're on a podcast.
Oh, you're on a
On
podcast.
a podcast.
So we do appreciate your candor.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to lie about it. I really enjoyed listening to her sing, and just listening to that made me feel like that's what I want to do. I want to be in this profession so I can listen to people like this do what they want to do, and so I can also aspire to do the things that she was doing in front of my eyes.
So it's both the appreciation and the desire to do that yourself.
Yeah, I'm not the strongest singer, and I know I'll never be as good as she can be, but
Yeah, but some people are granted gifts from
Exactly.
higher powers or whatever.
exactly. But the goal is to aspire to be as good as that, and if I get anywhere close to that, then I'm going to be happy with what I've done with my life. There's not going to be any drawback to doing what I do, whether I live in a garbage can
Or a big house in Malibu.
I was like,
or a big house in Malibu.
well, listen to this podcast if you want to know about the drawbacks.
No, like if you're not a good actor, there's obviously going to be some drawbacks. If you're a good actor, then sometimes things just happen for you. If you're lucky, and sometimes you just
That's the word.
That is the word.
If you're lucky, or if you're good, or
No,
if you're neither, and then you are.
You have to be good, but you can be good and never do
Never
anything.
get lucky.
You don't have to be good. Let's be honest.
That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
You
You're
can
right.
be lucky and still make a
And
living.
suck.
That is
Yeah,
true.
That's true.
That is very true.
Okay. But I that validated again my reasoning for wanting to be a theater major, for choosing this as a profession, because if I'm that happy doing what I want to do, and then that's just on my free time, not getting paid for it, I will have a happy life, and it will always be that way.
If you can manage to make money doing what you love so much.
That's what I'm saying is, even if I didn't make money doing it, it's still what I would want to do for the rest of my life.
I do understand what you're saying. Yes.
It would be great to make money. Like that's my goal, is to make a living out of doing this. But
it's one of those things that you would do for free.
That even if my career as an actor doesn't pan out, which is always a possibility for anyone, then I'm still going to be doing theater outside of my job as a grocery store clerk. But a Walmart.
Oh no.
Welcomer. Walmart. I used to be an actor. Enjoy your food. But
because you do have to talk like that if you work at Walmart.
You do. I mean, you have to. They make you.
It's a touching end to our interview here.
I think it's nice.
It went deep.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
Walmart deep.
Walmart deep. That's all the way to hell.
All right, Ian.
That's as deep as it gets. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I really appreciate
you guys.
it.
I really enjoyed talking with you guys about this.
Yeah.
It's been, it's our first guest. I think it did pretty well. I like that.
It did.
Yeah. Invite me on whenever you want.
Okay.
We will.
We will do that. We're going to invite you on when it comes close to your showcase so you can tell us all about it.
Oh,
that's
great.
right.
Yeah, definitely. I'll really enjoy that.
All right. Well, thanks again. Remember to check him out on Vine. And let's move on to our next segment. All right. So thank you to our guest. That was, I think, interesting.
I liked it.
I thought that was interesting. So hopefully the people will enjoy. And
a little more actory this time, but we haven't done that before.
It did get actory, but we haven't done that. So let us know on Facebook.com/FITB Podcast what you thought of that. Do you want more guests? Did you like it?
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
Guests.
And when I said did you like it, I mean did you like the Facebook page? Oh, and tell your friends, of course, which is what we want.
Yes.
YouTube.com for the enhanced version, FITB Films on YouTube. And also subscribing there is fun to do. It is.
It is, I know.
And then you've got your fillintheblankfilms.com with all the content all the time. And then the Twitters. I am at GPL Films.
And I am at AustinJD14.
So next week
we have a new topic.
And it is...
Western
movies.
That's right.
That could have been taken a number of ways, but it's a whip. They use them in Westerns.
Yeah. Dig-a-ding, dig-a-ding, dig-a-ding. Yeah, I got you. It's a rawhide thing.
So we will see you back for that in our next episode.
Why are you phrasing things awkwardly right at the end?
I just feel like it.
For next time, we shall be discussing...
having topic.
For you, I wish a week that is good.
Yeah.